Oh, alright there. We're in, boys. Accidentally hit the mute button again, so that's why the sound came on for a moment and went off. I'm not a producer, I am a caster, but we're into the action. I get to do my job now. It's map number 2, and of course, Ghost, they did manage to pick up that opening map. I just realized I didn't update it, or I might not have updated it on the screen. If I didn't, I will do it in a moment. I can actually see if I did or not. But look how quick this is. Ghost actually just ran straight down through the ramp room, already getting that bomb planted down on B. It's a little bit awkward. Freaks out, I was going to say potentially could have went down with the spam coming through the smoke, but he doesn't. He actually ends up finding himself a couple of quick frags. Infinite and Zeltzes get dropped. Steal down in return, and this is really just a round right now that could still go either way, constantly being exchanged back and forth. It leaves Kusta now in the one-on-one up against Subroza. It's planted in the open position. Subroza closing in the distance, P2000 in hand, and a headshot being found. Plenty of time for that defuse, of course, to come true. That will be Lazarus with the opening pistol round going in their favor. Dean, can you give us the GoTV link? I cannot do that. Apologies. Will we see the eco come true from Ghost? I don't want to see them going for the force buy right now. I mean, it's worked out quite well for them in the past, so I mean, maybe they do drop over an 8k, a Deagle in return, then to steal. They keep money on 3 players so that they'll be able to still get a buyout in this next round onto the majority of the players. So I mean, it again gives them a good chance here to try and actually catch Lazarus off guard. I don't know if they'll expect the AK, and it does tend to be that AK being brought in by Kusta the majority of the time. It always seems to get dropped over to that man. He buys up full utility. It's Steel who usually gives it to him. And how he's been playing, which overall has been pretty solid for Ghost, that is understandable. Just checked, and I did actually update the score at the top of the screen. Wasn't sure if I'd done that, so we're all good. It is, of course, 1-0 for Ghost in this best of 3, but 1-0 in this map for Lazarus right now. So here we go. Kevlarless opponents do make up the majority of the Ghost game inside, making it, of course, a little bit easier for those SMGs and the shotgun and even the AUG, if it's going to be needed. Opening frag did come in, actually, as Kusta was dropped. The AK, of course, being retrieved by Freakazoid, who does have Kevlar too, but I mean, they're not finding very much success over towards ramp right now. Infinite could have been dangerous if he went down. Wardell actually does end up dropping Subroza, but being traded back quickly in towards that A bomb site as Steel goes down. I'm not really too worried, although there's a chance right now for Ghost. Maybe they can get a bomb planted at the very least. I mean, that could be a pretty decent find, the extra $800 per player, especially considering they did buy up on 2 of them. Wardell should be able to get that bomb down. I don't think he's going to be spotted, and indeed, plant comes through, the extra 800 onto everyone. And Wardell opens the door up close on the P250, does find one. Unfortunately, up close against the shotgun, it's not quite as effective. Dapper comes through and cleans it up with the final frag on Freakazoid as well. And that's an AK being upgraded too, as there's plenty of time, of course, for the defuse. Taking a while, I believe, just everyone else going around seeing if they can pick up a bit of extra utility. Maybe even upgrade their weapons. I don't think they're really able to find anything better, though. There should be an AUG somewhere. Yeah, Zelda's just got it. Is this guy from Dublin? I am indeed. He's Chinese. I would be surprised if I was Chinese, man. Because I am the whitest person you will ever have seen in your whole entire life. And that's because I'm Irish, and we don't know what the sun is. It's been raining all day here. Kind of the normal weather, you know? But yeah, onto the buy now for Ghost. As I said, dropping over the AK from Steel to Kusta. Kusta buying up as well. It leaves them with 2 players on the weaker weapons. But overall, it's a pretty solid buy coming through. They have the op on Wardell, and that is, of course, the weapon that actually manages to open things up on outside. Play coming through to get that secret control. Zeltzes gets a trade and does actually do some solid damage, assisted by Neptune, who actually tagged Wardell down to 4 HP, but Ghost at least been able to come out of it with a man advantage, make that a 2-man advantage now. A Steel on the Deagle rips the head of Dapper off, and with that frag being found now, opens up the A-bomb site for Ghost to go on to. An AK as well being found. Molotov towards Heaven means that bomb is going to be planted without anyone having a chance to try and stop it. Neptune being cautious just in case. Infinite actually is down in the vent, so I mean, he could have snuck up. I feel like at this point, of course, it's worth considering the save for the 2 remaining players. That's what they're going to be going for. I mean, 2 AUGs in play, very little economy left in the bank for Lazarus. if they do save over these 2 weapons, we'll probably see them buy up since Swag can get out an investment for himself. The issue is they're down on B. Did they not get dropped to the bomb down here? I'm pretty sure they do. I mean, did they change the bomb? The range on it or something? Because I remember seeing someone yesterday on Nuke who should have went down to a bomb explosion, but I think they might be okay then since it's planted on the other side. Yeah, they're all good. Duo surviving, luckily enough having 100 health, they're fine. I wasn't too sure. Don't judge me, everyone. I'm not the smartest person alive. Nor do I pretend to be. The sun doesn't actually exist in Ireland. That is a fact. It does not. Whitest person below 5 foot. What does that mean? I'm actually quite tall, if that's what you mean. But I feel like you're talking about, like, sea level or something. I don't know why. Bit of damage, though. Sabrosa taken down to 69. Haha. By the spray. Wardell being mollied on outside. Probably going to stop him from being able to take too many fights. But actually, the molly goes behind them, I believe. So he's just holding an angle now, waiting to see if he's going to be given an opportunity. But for now, anyway, a bit of a slower round coming through. Steel, though, pressure in Sabrosa. That nade might do a little bit more damage. The Molotov, unfortunately, not spreading, though. So, as of yet, still no frags to actually come true. And there we go. Eventually, Sabrosa gets finished off. Trying to take a fight through the smoke as it went down. A little bit dangerous. Dapper on the Mag 7 gets a bit of revenge on Steel for what happened back on Inferno. And Zeltis, he's going to put a stop to a bit of an execute that was being prepared on the roof right there. It's a good find. Will, of course, be traded back. 3 versus 3 tends to favor the T side. They are going to retrieve that bomb just in towards the lobby right now. Which site are they going to aim towards is the question, though. Infinite right now watching that ramp push. There's 2 players on A that are ready to try and hold this one down if it's needed. As Kusta decides to fall back off out of the hut, and it's going to be up to Infinite now to try and actually hold this push down. And he had a great opportunity. The angle was held perfectly, but just doesn't end up connecting the shots. Freakicide drops him, and with that now they can push down on towards B. A smoke towards the single door to stop the player in that position from being able to put any sort of trouble towards Freakicide as he gets the bomb down. And again, I feel like Lazarus are left with very few options. If they don't get a kill very, very quickly, then they probably will just have to back off and try and save once again. What do you mean? Is this caster's accent North or Southern? Do you mean like Northern Irish or like Republic of Ireland? If you mean that, then it's Republic of Ireland. I'm from Dublin. Or if you mean the north or south side of Dublin, I can't tell you, man. I'm from the south side, but I don't really sound like it. Especially when I'm casting. I mean, I do pronounce words a little bit more when I'm casting. If I'm just talking normally, having a conversation with someone, then I'd probably sound a little bit more Irish. But yeah, 2-2 right now. It was a big round to be found for Ghost, of course. A little bit unfortunate. Infinite, as I said, not being able to connect those shots over on ramp is what ended up costing them in the end. Couldn't be much done on the retake. An Og at least being carried over for Dapper. There's a Zoo spot up for Sabrosa. A Deagle then in the hands of Swag. They have an opportunity to at least try and get a few kills and make it a costly round at the very least. Ooh, Zelzas, what the hell? Freakicide just losing his head very quickly. Not sure if he maybe didn't have a helmet. I don't think that would have been the case, though, since he does have quite a lot of money in the bank. Pushing forward now, though, over on ramp. Neptune returns 1. Zeltz is still getting some frags in with the USP. So, as I said, at least making it a costly round. Forcing some reinvestment to have to come true in this next one from the Ghost game inside, and it does give them a decent opportunity maybe to actually try and win it out. The issue is all 3 players up on towards the A bomb site. They took a gamble, I guess hoping that it would be brought towards A, but in the end, of course, that didn't happen. Zeltz is though retrieving an AK, Dapper still having the AUG. I mean, even if they just save over these 2 weapons, it's a pretty decent recovery overall, but they do still have a chance to try and get this retake in successfully. Swag finding an op as well now, so I mean, they've certainly got the weaponry to get it done. They even have a defuse kit and a couple of smokes. But Wardell in good position to shut this down before it really gives any hope at all to Lazarus, and indeed that is the case. Swag goes down, the op has been lost. Zeltsis and Dapper both already pushed down in towards B. They're not actually on the bomb site itself, but they are in towards the secret area. And we do see Dapper actually finding a couple of frags up close in the smoke. Then a couple of shots actually connecting on towards Kusta as well. He's just jumping at this point, making noise, but it doesn't matter because the bomb, it's ticking away. An explosion comes through. Kusta actually ends up surviving as well. I didn't think that was going to happen, as does Dapper. But Ghost go ahead and claim the lead. And again, we're looking at Lazarus on with a round not going in their favor. I mean, they are going to buy in. That's not too bad, I suppose. They're able to drop over some weapons, spread out the love a little bit. Swag takes a not a Mag 7. We've been seeing so many Mag 7s that that's just what I think of when I see a shotgun. He takes the auto shot at you, of course. There is a decent amount of utility, I suppose. It's not great for Lazarus right now, but it is a relatively strong buy. I'm a strong buy, my mommy told me. But yeah, Zelzas and Swag, they're actually able to open things up. This is a very important round, and actually we do see aggression coming through from Lazarus, I believe, just pushing in through A after there was a bit of presence being shown on ramp from Ghost, and they just get mowed down. We're in a blender. Bullets from both sides, just tearing them limb from limb. And a very convincing round goes in favor of Lazarus, keeping all 5 players alive. Swag's even able to upgrade off with a shotgun to pull out an AK. And with that, now Ghost are actually put down onto a pretty weak force buy, as you can see. A few SMGs, a CZ and a P250. I mean, if I'm looking for something nice to say, it's a nice variety buy. I mean, 5 different weapons, not something you see too often, but it's not a great investment. But they've got some good control to start it off. Actually able to get 3 players straight down through the vents. Swag able to neutralize one of them pretty quickly, but the bomb at least should be planted. But the issue is I don't know how likely the round is to go in their favor at this point. Wardell still somehow alive. By the time I actually managed to get those words out, though, that was no longer the case, of course, because Dapper did finish him off, but it was a lot more awkward than he would have hoped for. The 5v3 now, though. Lazarus are taking their time before they move in towards this retake. It's all the SMGs that remain in play. And make that only 1 SMG now, because Freakazide's in a 1-on-5. Gets 1 frag in the vents, but I don't think we can really expect much more from him. Pinned in, it's Sabrosa who just finishes it off. 4-3 for Lazarus as they claim the lead. This will have to be the eco now coming through from Ghost. Of course, they had fully invested in that previous round. Not really going to put anything into this at all. I mean, they're yet to leave the spawn, so they might get a few pistols. Freakazoid gets a CZ. Neptune gets a P250. They have a smoke on Steel, a P250, and a couple of flashes for Kusta. I mean, they buy up a lot eventually. It just took them a while. Sitting back in spawn, it gave the chance, of course, for Lazarus to get really aggressive already as well. Pushed up close on outside with 2 players. It's going to be awkward for Ghost in this round. They don't really have too much to work with. I mean, a few frags would be nice. Drop a few weapons. Again, force reinvestment to come through. But it should, on paper, be Lazarus taking a pretty simple 5-3 lead. Although that could be dangerous right now. Up close on outside, I believe it is Swag. It is indeed. He needs to be cautious because there is a couple of players up on top of the roof who could peek down from silo. We do see Freakazide falling back off, though, on 4 HP, already tagged up heavily. I don't think they really want to try and fight that anymore. Just under a minute remaining now, though, as the goal does seem to be A. Just getting that bomb down would be a nice bonus. $800 per player. It would boost up the buy in the next round, but oh, not going to happen. Zelz is, with the smallest of gaps in that smoke, is able to find 2 quick frags. Neptune now left all alone. Will be finished off by Swag, of course, who was on outside. He found a second kill at least before going down, so I mean, again, pretty decent, being able to find 2 frags, keeping the economy relatively modest for Lazarus, but you can see they do at least have enough built up in the reserve on the majority of their players to give them a pretty sufficient buy if they do lose a round. Here we go, Ghost. They're back on the investment themselves. Galil coming out for Steel, not ideal. He was willing to sacrifice down in order to get that utility in play. Everyone else going to have a pretty solid investment without having to go down onto a weaker weapon. So here we go, Ghost. Can they start picking up some more rounds on the T side now? It's all about grinding them out on the T side of Nuke. Bring it up to 6 or 7, and you're in a pretty good position. bit of damage early on has actually gone in favor of Lazarus once again. Is fairly substantial. Again, with the Yogs in play, especially in my M4s on the CT side, even just a bit of damage going in early on, dropping them to 90 or so. It does have impact, because it pretty much negates the effect of the helmet up against those Ogs. One shot to the head available onto 3 of the players now over on the Ghost side. Neptune and Wardell, the only ones that are left completely unscathed. But a push towards A going to be coming in this time with the rifles in play. Sabrosa just mows them down with the Yogg, drops the bomb, and even gets to get himself a little bit aggressive into the hut afterwards by swapping up position. I mean, it's not looking great. Freakazoid at least gets 1 to work with, but they've still got to try and retrieve the bomb. But look at this, Wardell catches the ramp aggression. This could be a round that Ghost can work their way back into right now. Lazarus need to calm down. They don't need to be pushing forward so much, especially with that bomb in their possession and with what was a 2-man advantage. No longer the case though, of course. Wardell trying to spam through, see if he can take down the player in towards the hut. I don't think Sabrosa's in it though. I believe he is on the other side. Although he may be pushed in. No, it's actually Dapper who's watching it up close. So let's see what he's going to be able to find. The bomb, of course, in that position itself in the hut. Freakazoid from heaven trying to get some work done. Not going to be successful. As he did find 1, but of course traded back his teammates then from the hut, not finding anything at all. They do end up going down, and that is going to be 6-3 now. Lazarus, they managed to pull another round in their favor. Started off well. Ghost, they tried to fight back into it, but sadly weren't able to do so in the end. That means another eco going to have to come true, and Lazarus, a 7th round likely to be found off the back of it. We do see Sabrosa opening it up already, rather. Does get dinked down. Oh, Infinite under a lot of pressure right now, being hunted in towards that B bomb site. Gets the first, took a dink though off of Neptune before finding that initial frag, and does end up getting dropped. The Celsius could be in trouble, but unfortunately for Steel, he tries to pounce just a little bit too early. I feel like if he waited another second, maybe he would have had a little bit of a better chance up closer. As it will indeed be Lazarus just sweeping up the retake. 1 casualty, not too bad. It was, of course, Infinite who went down, but, I mean, a bomb plant as well for Ghost coming through gives them a really solid buy in this round. They're going to get pretty much everything they could want. And having a quick look at the scoreboard, you can see that right now over on that Lazarus side, Dapper is playing extremely well. 14 frags, 1 assist and 3 deaths. Zelza's at 10-6. Everyone contributing pretty much. I mean, Infinite has had a couple of awkward rounds, but they are still looking pretty convincing on the CT side. Well, I mean, not a couple. It was really just that one, of course, where he struggled over towards the ramp. But since then, it has been looking good for Lazarus. Being able to chain quite a few rounds together at this point. Ghost are beginning to struggle a little bit. As I said before, it's all about grinding those rounds out here on the T side. If they can bring it up to 6, they will be pretty happy. Anything past that then puts them in a pretty good position. But let's see. Right now, outside control looking to be the goal it seems for Ghost Gaming, at least. It seems to be, because I don't think they are going to be going for it. They do just have that one player in the form of Freakazoid who's pushed around. It looks like they may actually want to try and take it in towards Ramp Room again. Kusta going to be leading the way. There is a player boosted up to the close right. It is going to be cleared as Kusta jumps around the corner. Infinite goes down. It was a headshot to quickly take him out of play. Smoke towards the double door is going to stop Zelsis from having too much vision of what's going on. Oh, but it also actually blocks them off from being able to protect Steel as he plants the bomb. That is dangerous. A man advantage being found again for Lazarus right now. The door even being closed. The Celsius uses it for cover and falls back through the smoke once again. Eventually gets dropped. And Wardell actually drops Dapper as well. I was going to say with the HP now on all 3 of these players, it could get dangerous, and it's certainly still good. But they at least have the man advantage in play for the moment. Will they be able to retain it? Or perhaps even extend it, though? That's the question. They know Subrosa's over towards Ramp, and they do know spot Swag coming from the double doors. That gives them the info about where both of these players are at the very least, so it allows them to know where they can plant safely. So the bomb will eventually go down. Some good damage being found, and Kusta with a spam into that ramp smoke drops Subrosa, and Neptune to finish off the final player in the form of Swag. That's going to be a 4th finally being put on the board for Ghost. Can they manage to get any more in, though? Because if they manage to pick this one up, there's not actually going to be all that much money left in the bank of Lazarus. I mean, after the investment, they do have enough to buy on 3 players, so they probably would buy up. But it's a good opportunity for Ghost. If they take this one, get up to 5, Lazarus then invest everything. If they take that one, then Lazarus would be looking at an eco, and it'd be a good opportunity for Ghost to bring it up to probably 7. If they don't manage to find it, though, it's just going to be Lazarus, of course, getting straight back into their winning ways. And on the other hand, Ghost in a pretty awkward position. I mean, they have a good amount of money left in the bank, thankfully, after that previous round, and they do still have $2,900 coming in if they do lose this one. So they would be buying again, but I mean, at this point, Ghost, they want to try and start picking up as many rounds as they can before it really gets out of hand. As it's a very slow round from the T side right now. Maybe expecting the aggression again to come true from Lazarus. I mean, we've seen them push forward in towards the lobby and also ramp quite often. More so, though, once the push is actually coming through from Ghost as a little bit of a reaction, though. So we haven't really seen them push in early on into the round too much. What's a good T-half on Nuke? I mean, a T-half you can be happy with is 6. If you not what I consider to be a good half would be like 7. Put yourself in a position where you have a little bit of room to work with. It's not only a half that's good, but it gives you a little bit of security. But let's see, pushing forward right now. Neptune leads the way. They did actually lose the opening frag, of course, but Ghost, since then, have been trading pretty successfully. Steel going to be able to deal with Sub-Rosa on the back of the bomb site. And with that now, the man advantage goes in favor of the T side once again. The bomb looking to try and go down, but Steel is low on HP. And that's no longer the case, but that's sadly because he's been finished off. Infinite even expects the flank from Freakazoid. And now it's all onto Wardell. 1v2, he should be quickly taken down by Swag. I was going to say maybe the bomb plant could come true, but it's not allowed. Now there's a good recovery there from Lazarus. Infinite with the 2 important frags from Heaven is really the one that got it done. As a pause has come true. It is, of course, from Ghost, the tactical, as they realize that they are beginning to struggle somewhat here on the T side of Nuke. And this is, of course, the map choice of Ghost. We've seen Inferno go in favor of them, which Lazarus had chose. So, I mean, for Lazarus, it's looking good that they are able to get off to a solid start here on Nuke, but it's still relatively early days. As I said, if Ghost can just grind out a couple more rounds, then they're in a decent position. But on the other hand, Lazarus, I mean, they have been looking pretty convincing. It's been Dapper performing extremely well. Sub-Rosa and Zelzis as well stepping up. There's no one really falling behind because even in that previous round there, Infinite was able to come up big when it was needed. So let's see. Oh, good damage already from Zelzis there on that spam. Freakazoid dropped so low. He spots a second player above the smoke, but he needs to be cautious of Silo. The legs being exposed is what costs him quite a lot of HP. Dapper, though, pushing in the door. That is a perfect flash. This is just a crazy round right now. Dapper, of course, going for that aggression after losing the outside control so that they wouldn't really be giving up everything on the map. They wanted to take something in return after they lost outside. But speaking of taking something in return, it's Kusta who takes a frag back, and eventually Freakazoid as well goes ahead and actually pulls an advantage in favor of Ghost right now. And Kusta extends it even further. This is just looking awkward for Lazarus. It's left on Infinite and Dapper. Dapper does manage to find one, as Infinite did also towards outside. And although he's left in the 1-on-2, with the HP being so low for both of these remaining players on the T side, it's certainly a winnable position. But it's a pretty solid crossfire right now that's set up between the bottom of the bomb site and also in towards that radio room, I believe it's called. Oh, the radio room's actually up above. I actually never know what to call that. I think it's control. Do I remember correctly? I think it is control. But either way, Ghost, they find that 5th round, and they finally run down the money of Lazarus, who are actually looking at a pretty weak force buy. So if this one doesn't work out for Lazarus, then Ghost, they have a great position, a great opportunity, rather, to actually take 7 rounds at the half-time. Because, of course, Lazarus losing this one would put them on a pretty similar investment to what they have in this round, maybe even weaker in the following one. And already Kusta opens it up. The ramp aggression being spotted as well. Neptune, he gets a quick double headshot. Freakazoid even chimed in elsewhere. And it's only Dapper that remains in a 1-on-5. I think an ace clutch is a little bit too much to ask of him. He's on the right bomb side at least, so that's a positive. Get 2 quick kills. Oh my god, he hasn't even took any damage yet. No way did I let this one slip away. Dapper bringing it down to the 1-on-2, pushing forward in the hut, may be able to catch Wardell off guard. If this one goes in favor of Lazarus, thanks to this 1v5, I will almost cry. 1-on-1 is now the case. Dapper may just be able to get this one done. Freakazoid is a little bit scared at this point. I mean, those muscles, they aren't deterring Dapper at the moment. He's coming down actually intra the vent as well. That timing could have been very, very unfortunate, but instead it's actually quite lucky because Freakazoid, he may not expect a quick flank, but no, he didn't go down through the vent. I thought he had. A little bit awkward on the radar to tell. Of course, he did end up actually going towards outside. Spots Freakazoid actually tapping those doors, but he's making a lot of noise. As Freakazoid elevates himself up on top of the rafters right now, waiting on that catwalk for Dapper, who's coming in from the door. A 1 versus 5 Ghost. How do you let that happen? Oh my god. That is one round to give up. That is just some round to give away, rather. Lazarus on 9, Ghost now. I mean, they have enough money to force buy into this final round with only Kusta being left on a weaker weapon, but that is spectacular from Dapper right there. He's 22-6 right now. What a monster. I jinxed it. Do you know what came into my mind? It was that really, really old clutch of Shroud in pretty much that exact same position, except on the other side of the box when he got a massive 1v5 when he played for like Manajumas or something. I think that was the team he played for at the time. And I was thinking, nah, no way this happens right now. But no, they let it. Dapper with a 1v5. I mean, come on. He didn't even take any damage until the final kill. And even then, only took like 20-something. It was almost flawless. That is a heartbreaking round for Ghost to lose. And not only is that a tactical pause, that is an anti-tilt pause from Ghost. I mean, thank you, Dapper. He's probably going to get me on Reddit. I choked a little bit there. Don't call me Ghost. But here we go. A quick play coming through from Ghost. They want to get up the pace. They're feeling a little bit upset after that previous round. And they do actually manage to get a lot of control down in towards B already. The bomb should be planted. Swag, though, I think going to have a pretty much free kill on outside. Indeed, he does on Kusta. As even with the bomb being down now, a good bit of damage coming in the weapons favor in that CT side for the retake. Dapper finds the frag on Freakazoid. He starts this round off for himself as he ended the previous one with a frag on Freakazoid. It's a 4v2 now. Only Steel and Neptune remain to try and actually save this round, as double digits are looking pretty much confirmed for Lazarus. Oh, actually, no, never mind, because this is a good position from Steel. Able to find one, has a smoke he can put down and a flash as well. I mean, he kind of needs to push out at this point. That's the issue. The Molotovs, though, there's 2 of them in the door. Nothing that can be done. The defuse is being stuck. And Swag, of course, did have a defuse kit. 10-5 at halftime. It's double digits for Ghost. Oh, for Lazarus. What am I on about? It's because the names instantly switched at the top. That threw me off, guys. God damn it. No, but yeah, that I'm still just thinking back to that 1v5 from Dapper. I mean, that's a round that never should have gone in favor of Lazarus, and instead of being up 8-7 at halftime because of it, they're now up 10-5. I mean, yeah. They kind of crumbled in that one. So here we go. The second pistol round coming in. I think it kind of goes without saying that if we want to see Ghost fighting their way back into Nuke right now, they do need to pick up this pistol round. Otherwise, I just don't give them too much hope. A little bit of a failed smoke from Infinite. I mean, that certainly could cost them a little bit, but Steel for now going to be kept at bay. Does eventually peek out and find a headshot on Subrosa, so it does end up costing them a little bit, and even more as he gets a second. Freakazoid with a couple of his own. Neptune coming in from above will be the one to find the final frag to actually close out that round. So Ghost, they do pick up a very crucial pistol. They give themselves a little bit of a lifeline now to try and actually work back into Nuke, but it certainly could have been a bit easier if it wasn't for some rounds in that previous half. Put it quickly. Keep it short, you know? Oh, the nade and the scout shot, though, combining from Wardell. He may have a second one. Dapper ends up going down. Up against the Eco, of course. It's nothing to get too hyped over, but I'm in a hyped mood right now. Apologies. still fired up and energized from the end of that previous half. Quick cleanup indeed. It's not even any damage at all to come true from Lazarus in that round. I mean, you don't expect a lot. They were on an eco. Now it's the gun round that's going to come true. Playing the safe game. They didn't want to really force up and try and, I guess, give any extra rounds away to Ghost that aren't needed. But of course, let's see, because Ghost, they're keeping a couple of weaker weapons into this round, but they still have enough money in the reserve to rebuy onto at least some of the players in this next round. I mean, it wouldn't be amazing, so it's not like it's a bonus round per se for Ghost. They do just keep a couple of weaker weapons. They'd have a similar buy then in the next round. So ideally for Ghost, if they want to start building up into this comeback, they do need to pick up this open and gun round. I would say it's almost a necessity. Kusta, that's very aggressive towards ramp, trying to play around the smoke. Does get dropped by Infinite. It's getting traded back, fortunately, elsewhere and towards the ramp as well by Freakazoid. But now it's a 3-on-3. Decent position for either side. Usually favors the T's. But still, let's see what he can find. Just about spots the head of Swag. Opens up the doors, though, on low HP. One bullet to any part of his body is enough to finish him off. And that's going to be an easy task for Subrosa right there. Molotov towards the ramp to stop any quick flanks from coming through as the bomb should be planted. It's Freakazoid from this door right now. Takes down Dapper. That was actually the healthy player over on the Lazarus side, so that makes it a little bit more awkward. Subrosa, though, I don't think they recognize that he's actually gotten aggressive in towards ramp. He's got the flank on Neptune, who's actually watching it as well, but no longer. Freakazoid loses his head, but Neptune coming in, spots the gun barrel, has an easy frag, and with the defuse easily being found. I was going to say with the defuse kit on his back, but I said defuse. I said the fuse word. I said the defuse again, and yeah, I don't know. It threw me off, guys. I threw myself off. That was, as I said, a pretty important gun round for Ghost to pick up. It was looking like a little bit of an awkward start after Kusta got taken down on that initial ramp aggression, which was a bit of a wild play, going for it all on his own, especially. But, I mean, as we saw, his teammates were able to recover it. It's the Pistols and Kevlar right now in play from the D side, crossing in towards Secret. They take a bit of damage in the meantime, but being able to actually close in the distance now with these SMGs and Pistols, it could get a little bit dangerous. As long as they can bring in some kills, keep the economy low for Ghost. That is their main goal, of course. With only one surviving in that previous round for that CT side, they didn't really build up any money at all. Kusta to open it up in this one, though, will potentially find a second frag. He actually does, but it's not onto the player I was expecting. He eventually falls to said player. It was Swag who finishes him off, but as you can see, Steel then comes in with the two final kills, rather. Probably should have added that word to end the sentence. Would have made a bit more sense. But yeah, 9-10, 1 round down the difference. It is going to be the buy again from Lazarus. No op going to be coming out happy enough with the rifles. But our Ghost going to continue on now on the CT side, really building their way back into this game. As we said, they could potentially even be in the lead right now. I mean, 7 to 8 half was looking very likely if it wasn't for that 1v5 from Dapper. So, I mean, if it does come down to a very close game that eventually goes in favor of Lazarus, you know what to look back at. So, let's see. Kusta already opening it up. It's Dapper, the man we were talking about, the hero of the previous half for Lazarus, who has been quickly taken out of this gun round right here on the T side. So, a big factor. The top fragger by far for Lazarus already taken down. Puts them on the back foot for sure in the 4-on-5. Pause the game, have a beer and a cig, relax, catch up on your thoughts. It's just been a long night so far. We had like a 9-hour cast as well last night, from like 8 PM to like 4 in the morning. So my sleeping schedule's a little bit off, but we're good. We don't need a break. We're gonna keep going on with the action, of course. I'll get a quick break in between the maps, and then I will grab a quick cigarette. Everyone knows I smoke cigarettes because when I was at the Charleroi event, of course, I did get put on the screen after the camera fell off the crane while I was making a roll-up. Infinite actually doesn't realize there's a player right beside him. Is there? No, it's actually on the other side of the wall. I'm stupid. Never mind. Maybe I should take that break, but who knows? Infinite eventually goes down, and there's Steel with the final frag. 10-10. Body dropping down the vents to finish it off. That is going to be the scoreline being equalized. But again, I mean, Lazarus, they're beginning to struggle a little bit. They will have to take one eco before they come back onto the buy. Not being able to find the bomb plant in that round, of course, doesn't allow for them to buy up once again. They do have that full loss bonus, though, so Pistols, Kevlar, utility coming out across the board. It gives them an opportunity to, again, try and bring in some damage, try and get the bomb plant, but, I mean, it's not looking great. This is the map choice of Ghost, and you can see why they chose it. They're looking much better on the CT side. The T side also could have been a lot better than it was if it wasn't for mistakes being made. There we go. Dapper gets one. Steel going to go down. A decent enough trade being found. I don't think the weapon is going to be picked up, but of course, down towards B. I'm not too sure how Swag actually managed to get the bomb all the way down there, but either way, not going to be too successful with it. The rest of his teammates now nowhere nearby. At this point, Ghost can just actually rotate down and just keep that bomb under their vision and really stop Lazarus from having any chance of getting back into this round. Cigarette bad for your health, mate. Definitely is. Definitely is, but I mean, it was pretty funny when the camera fell off the crane. Smoking is bad for you since when, someone says. Of course he smokes, he's from Northern Ireland. I'm not from Northern Ireland, what the hell, man? There we go, Neptune finds Subrosa, leaves only Infinite, of course, and 45 seconds in the bomb down on B. 3 players to try and fight through on the ramp. I don't give him too much hope in this, in all honesty. He almost had a chance to actually find the one frag right there on Freak. Did get the dink through, but unfortunately not able to follow it up with another bullet means Ghost are going to go ahead and claim the lead. I mean, how many people were expecting this to happen? I don't think I was after we seen how that previous half actually ended. And it's worth noting, I don't think Dapper's been able to do very much at all here on the T side so far, so he's definitely cooled off a little bit. We need to see players elsewhere stepping it up now for Lazarus if they want to make this a game that they can fight back into. And of course, this is map number 2, with the first one having gone in favor of Ghosts, so they're looking to try and finish this off 2-0. And is that going to be the case? I mean, it's not over for Lazarus, but it's beginning to get a little bit awkward. I'm beginning to definitely clench a bit for them as it begins to fall apart, but there's Zeltzes. He opens it up. Dapper actually steps it up as well. We just called him out, said he's been a little bit more quiet now on the T side so far. But let's see if he's going to be able to bring them in with an opportunity in this round. It's a 2 versus 2 right now. Neptune, though, a good position to shut him down as he finds a very quick headshot and drops that smoke to stop anyone from being able to follow it up from the left side of him, of course, from lobby. But as we can see, Infinite already pushed out on the bomb side. I don't think they're aware of this, but they are at least being cautious. Smoking is the secret to the golden casting device. No, really. I wouldn't recommend it. Infinite, though, he has now been spotted. I mean, he just mollied off the bomb. I don't think that makes it easier for him to retrieve by any means. Does end up getting taken down by Wardell. I guess the hope was that the smoke from the flames would just block off the vision, of course. I mean, it definitely isn't good for you, so don't smoke. Don't do it. Oh, this is going to be a quick play from Lazarus. I mean, it's a bit of a switch up, but they're trying some different stuff. They have fully invested into this round as well. They had a couple of SMGs in play, which have already been eliminated. A smoke there perfectly allowing for Zelzes to walk out the door and not realize that his feet were exposed. He goes down. Eventually a trade from Infinite, but he's all alone and returned on quickly by Steel. 4 players alive for Ghost. 13-10 being the scoreline now as they've taken 8 rounds in a row. This has been a very convincing CT side so far. Oh, there's Tobin in the chat. He says smoking is bad. He's actually from Northern Ireland. So major final 6K viewers, dead game. Kens, that's a dead meme. Get over it. Stop it. It's already dead, man. But there we go. Wardell opens up again. Oh, barely even actually able to see much of Dapper as he was going around that corner right there. Got the wall bang. Take him down. Swag gets a quick headshot onto Steel, at least to return it. But let's see. Can Lazarus find any more? Subrosa in a bit of trouble right now, and the hush should be dropped, and indeed he is by Neptune, leaving Infinite and Swag in the 2 versus 4. I mean, especially as that nade goes through and even tags up Infinite even further, or rather brings him down alongside Swag, who'd already been tagged. It just it just keeps the chances right now in this round for Lazarus going down and down, and the chances for them recovering in this best of 3, because, as I said, map 1 had gone in favor of Ghost. They're looking to finish this one out with a 2-0. I mean, I wanted to say a quick 2-0, but it definitely wouldn't be the case. We had double overtime on that first map. But yeah, Swag on 23 health right now over in the garage on outside. I don't know if there's really too much that he's going to be able to do. He has the bomb at the very least, but even though he's holding the angle, that Freakazoid steps out into, of course, with low HP. 1 bullet was enough to finish him off. 14-10. 2 more rounds for Ghost to go ahead and continue on. Go ahead and take themselves a 2-0. I'm actually not too sure which game we have coming up after this. If I smoke, how's my voice so smooth? I don't know. Jeans, man. Just jeans. And again, a little bit of a quick play trying to come through from Lazarus, at least towards the door. Never mind. Swag actually on outside, able to find 2. Coming in through the Molotov, gets a second onto Neptune. Traded back then, Bazelz's with 1. Dapper on the Deagle, going to go ahead and take down Freak. And it's all on Kusta. This man had some ridiculous clutches yesterday in the matches for Ghost, but this one's going to be a tough one. Pinned now between a couple of players in that hut position. He should be spotted and dropped from heaven. Sells bit of an awkward spray, but he gets it in the end. Of course, with the amount of rounds that have gone in favor of Ghost, they're not struggling to buy into this one. I mean, considering they won 9 in a row, they don't have that great of an economy, so there's certainly an opportunity. As Swag just repeats what he done in the previous round. Takes down Steel, who was chilling back in towards the spawn. It is actually going to be Subrosa, though, who gets returned on quickly. And of course, Swag took quite a lot of damage, as did Dapper. So even with that 1-for-1 trade coming through, which I normally would say favors the T side, not really in this case, considering there is a couple of players who are quite low on HP. Swag, though, is still pushed up in A main. It didn't really seem like they were aware of this. Is able to drop Wardell. Knows that Neptune's pinned in behind the vent, but unfortunately doesn't expect Freakazoid to be coming in from behind so quickly. With that now, we should see actually the bomb going down over towards B. They are taking their time. Celsius, actually catches that flank from Freakazoid. Needs to be careful, though. Not expecting another player. Why does he just take his knife out? I mean, there could be anyone, anywhere. A 2-on-2 now for Kusta and Neptune. If that's what costs Lazarus this round and potentially the game, that will be absolutely heartbreaking. But let's see. Dapper is still alive right now. The man, the myth, the legend. Is he going to be the one that can put a stop to these 2 players on the retake? The Molotov makes it a little bit more difficult, but he's still able to get 1. And an Infinite, of course, playing from above. Actually wasn't spotted by Kusta. Will be able to shut him down and take a 12th in favor of the T side. It's Lazarus now closing this within just a 2-round gap. And as we can see, Ghost are likely looking at an eco actually into this one. Maybe some pistols to be upgraded, but I wouldn't expect the full buy to be able to come true, unfortunately. So it should be a 13th on the board for Lazarus before the guns come back out again. Switch to vaping, please, Mr. Casterman. I actually do have a vape as well. I don't use it too often, though. Not gonna lie. What color jeans, though? I mean, if I'm wearing jeans, we're gonna go. I'm actually gonna take that question much more seriously than it should have been. If I'm wearing jeans, they're normally either like kind of dark blue or probably like black or grey. I'm a simple man, you know. I ain't flashy. Here we go. It is actually the force buy coming through from Ghost, surprisingly, and I don't know if I agree with this. If they end up losing this one and Lazarus then are pretty much given a free round to take it up to 14. Although we've seen the Mag 7 come through clutch before for Ghost. Is that going to be the case again? This time it's Freakazoid. Upgrades onto the AK and manages to catch Zelzis trying to come out down onto B as well. That's the bomb lost in favor of Ghost right now. And pretty much all of the frags going in their favor. It's a sea of blue that fills the kill feed. It's Swag all alone. And he does get 1 onto Neptune, but now his position, it is going to be known, of course, by the remaining Ghost players. Steel needs to be careful. Actually does get spotted. But it doesn't matter because with the AUG, he's able to just scope in and take that final frag. 15-12 map and serious point for Ghost Gaming. Hey Kaz, there is your refrigerator running. Yes, it is, so I am going to have to leave and go catch it. So no caster for the final round. Apologies. If Ape is something you own, just so you can own it. I mean, it's good in theory. I just got bored of it. There we go. Going forward now. Let's see if Lazarus can manage to build this back into an overtime. I mean, 3 rounds in a row, certainly doable. Can't count them out by any means. Problem is, a good bit of damage already being put in by those nades early on with Infinite and Sub-Rosa taken down to roughly half HP. And 1-for-1 trade actually being found. Swag, what was that second headshot into Wardell? That was very quick indeed. Kusta waiting to see if he can find a bit more than one down on B. Eventually just pounces on Zelz's. Will he be traded back though, because there's 2 more players. And indeed, it will be Infinite to go ahead and quickly drop him in return. So the bomb now being planted with a 3-on-2 in play. Freakazoid and Neptune, I don't know if they want to bother with the retake. I feel like saving these 2 rifles is probably the best decision at this point. And unfortunately, it's limited to just 1 that can be carried over now in the hands of Freak. Mr. Caster, have I watched the last episode of Game of Thrones? If you mean by that, have I watched the most recent, then yes. I have not watched the last one because sadly I do not have special privileges. I struggled with that word. God damn it. Two now in the difference. As I said, 3 is certainly not an impossible feat for Lazarus to pull off, especially as they find that one right there. That actually does put Ghost in a very difficult position. Steel's on a double eco right now, as is Wardell pretty much, because he'll be on 3800. Well, 3850 of course with the 50 in there. You don't usually count that because it doesn't really add up to too much. You need the equal monies most of the time, unless you want some decoys, etc. But yeah, I mean, right now Ghost in a tough position. Did they buy up around this AK? Did they take the eco and pull out an okay buy in the next round to try and stop it from going to overtime? I mean, we could be seeing another overtime, guys. Map 1 had 2 overtimes. It could be happening again here on Nuke. Someone said Nuke so boring to watch. I mean, it is a lot of the same stuff, so it can get a little bit boring after a while, but I mean, I don't really get to cast it too much, to be honest, so I mean, it's still fresh enough for me. It's not a map that gets pulled out all too often, and even then it's normally as a decider, etc. But let's see. Right now, Lazarus creeping around out through outside, rather. Up against the full eco, apart from that 1 AK that was saved over. It should be a pretty easy round for them, and that is the case. So Broza gets 2 quickly. Dapper drops Wardell. It's Freakazoid again, left alone. As he's unfortunately left with very few options, similar to that previous round, with saving probably being the top of his list. Having a quick look at the scoreboard again, Ghost, they do have everyone contributing pretty equally. Dapper up on a 30 bomb now, taken it, I believe, in this round. Again, as we said, he has cooled off massively on the T side, but if he can step back up to pull it back to overtime, then keep up with that performance as well heading into the overtime, then it would be a good sight for Lazarus fans. Thank you, Offie. Yeah, now 1 in the difference. 15-14. It's the last round of the regulation. It could potentially be the last round of this best of 3 if it goes in favor of Ghost. But on the other hand, Lazarus, of course, they do have the stronger buy, as I said. Ghost were looking at a double eco onto a couple of players. So even though they did eco in that previous round, there's still a FULLMATCH coming out. A limited amount of utility. Kusta gets an M4, but without Kevlar. I mean, I don't understand this. Wardell should definitely just be given the op to Kusta, considering Kusta doesn't have the Kevlar and Wardell does. It's not like Kusta can't op or anything. It's not like Wardell can't rifle. It would definitely make more sense. But it doesn't seem like they're going to be doing that, unfortunately. I mean, maybe it works out. Who knows? Maybe Wardell gets 5 kills with the op in this round. Maybe Kusta aces with the M4 no Kevlar. But I mean, you do want to try and make it the best buy possible, even if it's just swapping the weapons around a little bit, rather. Lazarus, though, looks like they want to go straight out towards A. Oh, that Molotov for Neptune is a real problem. Pinned in towards that corner, does eventually actually go down because of it. The op now on the A bomb site in the hands of Wardell going to be under so much pressure, and let's see what he's going to be able to get done with it. He is still, just for the moment, able to kind of hang around behind this bomb site. Steel actually ends up finding one, and look, a Freakicide in the vent. This could be the play, potentially, to actually pull this back in favor of the CT side, and it is indeed. It's all on Zeltz's right now. 6 HP, and the nade from Freak. It finishes him off. It's a big Kobe. As Zeltz's goes down, as do Lazarus.